I went to my uncle's who lived in the capital for a holiday. I was only going to be there for a couple of weeks. Well, the first couple of days were fine. I saw most of the sights and it seemed I was having a great time. And that's when we started hearing the reports on the radio. People were being attacked. My uncle said that it was just local muggings and it was nothing to worry about, but I wasn't too sure. And that's when we started seeing them actually happening outside our own window. We checked on the TV to see what was going on, and they said that some lab had exploded, and that's where a virus had started breaking out. But then someone else said that it was from somebody had come over from America with the virus. My uncle said that we'd be pretty safe and we were on the 5th floor, so he sort of reassured me a bit, but I think he could tell that I was a bit worried. And that's when he said that he had a boat, and that if worst comes to the worst, that we'd just get on the boat and head to the coast. Well, we ascertained through the noise levels that during the day there was hardly any creatures out there, and it was only at night that they'd come out and start roaming the streets and looking for fresh victims. So it was during the day that we'd go out and get supplies. To start with, there was about 10 of us in the flats, and they'd come round and we'd sort of talk and wonder what to do and all the rest of it. And I remember sitting at that window and watching them. One by one they all left, and one by one they didn't return, until it was just me and my uncle. I remember the last time I saw my uncle. He said that we were low on supplies and that we needed to go out and get some more. And it being twilight, he reckoned that we'd be able to make it, but I said that we wouldn't. But he wouldn't listen. I tried to stop him, but he just wouldn't listen. And that was the last time I saw him. I waited and I waited and I waited, and he didn't return. So the next day I packed some things and I went looking for him, and I found him. They'd gotten to him. He was dead. He was in a right mess. So I headed for the boat. I got on the boat, tried to stay as far away from shore as possible. I remember my uncle saying that he reckoned that they couldn't swim, and he was right. They just kept dropping into the water. I think they must have been attracted by the lights. That's the only thing I could think of, because they kept coming to the shore, but they didn't make it. Well, for a couple of months I stayed on the boat, and I only came in during the day to get supplies. And then I remember one night I was woken up by gunfire, and there was loads of lights on the shore, so I decided that I'd risk it and I'd go and take a look. Well, there were these soldiers. They weren't our military and they weren't police, and there was this guy, I think, who was their leader, and basically they were going around clearing out all the zombies. And then they set up a camp, and they went on the tannoy and said that they were called Sanctuary, and that if there was any survivors out there that they were to come to them and they'd be taken care of. But I didn't want to go. I mean, you know, who are these people? They weren't our government. What are they doing here? So I went back to the boat, and after about 3 days of travelling upriver, I'd always tried to keep away from the shores, but it was difficult. And a couple of nights ago, I was asleep and I woke up because the boat had hit the shore, and that's when they attacked. I managed to get my stuff and get off the boat and get away from them. I just remember running and running and running. I didn't hear them on the first night, but I think they found me again. I've been here a couple of nights now, and they keep coming back, but they haven't found a way in yet. I noticed there was a couple of buildings that I think might have a generator, so I'm going to go and have a look tomorrow to see if I can find somewhere that's got a radio or internet or something, so I can get a message out there, because I need to know if there's other survivors. I need to find out if there's other people that are going through the same that I'm going through. They're back. They're at the front again. They keep trying to get in, but so far they haven't made it. I think they're getting in. Look. I don't know if this is going to make it to anybody. And I don't know if I'm going to get out of here. But basically I'm going to try and get to the internet or get to a radio or something tomorrow and get a message out there to see if there's any other survivors. I've got to get out of here. They've got in. I've got to go!